Okay, we are supposedly live here, which is funny because I was live on the wrong live stream, one that was supposed to take place far into the future, many weeks in the future. And it's actually good because I was able to start this over, and also it sounds like the lawnmower people are further away now from these apartments. So now we're going to start fresh. We're going to just pretend nothing happened and play through these three guitars. I'd only gotten through the first guitar anyways, which I will do over again here. Alejandro Mardueño. Hey, hello again. Yeah, so I'm going to give everyone just a second to tune in. I'll tell you a little bit about the guitar that I'm holding here. Sorry for those of you that are rejoining from the other stream, but now we're streaming through the right link with the right title and everything. And I see we've got some people back, so... Yes, those of you that are just arriving or think, hey, where is he? He was supposed to start sooner. The problem is I was on the wrong stream. I'm on the right one now, and I'm sitting here. I'll go ahead and start here. So if those of you that are tuning in later, watching this after the fact, whenever it is, still say hello in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if you think these should be longer or shorter, a different day, a different time. I'd love to hear from you. All right, now we have some people rolling in. The link is correct. Good sound and video today, Don says. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. I'm also rocking a new computer, which should be able to not freeze in the middle of the stream like it has before, which is great. And I'm simultaneously recording this stream so that afterwards, for clips, they're much higher quality. So let's see if that ends up working out. You know, when I'll post clips from the previous streams. So hello everyone, if you're tuning in, say hello. I was streaming via the wrong link a little while ago, so that is the reason why I am a little bit behind. But let's go ahead and get started. Please leave a comment. I will see it even if it's 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes later, and I will try to get to it. We are kicking things off with this Antonio Marin Montero from the year 2012. Now, this one is the first that I've had in my hands that is 640 scale. So 640 millimeters, it's 10 millimeters shorter over the course of the whole distance from the nut to the saddle here. It's 10 millimeters shorter, which makes it just a little bit easier to play. I love 640 scale guitars. I have to say that 650 or 640 is fine for me. If it's 650 scale and the neck is a little bit too thick or a little bit oddly shaped, it's very hard for me to consider playing a whole concert on them. But if it's 650 with a great neck, I tend to be totally fine with that scale length. This guitar is 640 scale with a little bit thicker neck than what I prefer. It's not razor thin. I love super, super thin necks. But it's also not extremely thick. It's not like a Friedrich neck or something like this. You don't feel like you're playing on a baseball bat. But it is 640 scale, and I've not played on a Marin Montero that's 640 scale. And look at this. Not only is it easy to play, but look at the Brazilian Rosewood on the back here. Can you see that well? Those light strips. By the way, they appear very light because I'm holding it into the sunlight and my studio lights here. But when you're just playing it, you know, there you go. You can see a little bit more what it actually looks like, which is subtle. Hello, nice guitar. Good to see you. Yeah, so this Antonio Montero is from 2012. It's 640 scale, and oddly, it has some extra frets here, which immediately makes me think of Elliot Fisk, because it seems like on all of his Steve Connor guitars, he gets extra frets or whatever guitars he's playing on. So in the back of my mind, I was like, maybe I should look inside the guitar and see if it was built for him. But I'm sure he's not the only one that asks for extra frets. And I don't mean one extra fret. There's a few, and I keep joking that I haven't even counted them all. What note is this? It's D. That's kind of cool. So if you're in drop D, maybe you go, cool. It doesn't make much sound, but it's nice to have it, especially if you play a wide variety of music and you're used to playing way up high. So 640 scale, a little bit about Antonio Marin Montero. For those of you that don't know, he is kind of like the godfather of these Granada-based luthiers. He's been building for so many years. He built guitars with the famous Robert Boucher, the French maker, who made like 150 something guitars. and they're still coveted today as some of the best guitars in the world. I've been lucky enough to play on a few of these or two of these, I should say, that were phenomenal guitars. And Antonio Marin Montero developed this design that this guitar is based off of. It's his normal design that you see most people play, his Boucher model, based on his time spent with Robert Boucher building guitars. They actually built guitars together for some period of time and exchange ideas all the time. And let's talk a little bit less and play a little bit more. What do you think? How about that sound? By the way, for those of you that have been watching my channel for a little while might know that my preference for strings is usually a carbon G and B string, nylon first. But on this guitar, it is no carbon at all. It's all nylon strings. And I'm quite okay with it. I think I will end up changing it before I make a video review just so that it's a little bit more consistent with my normal sound. But I have to say, you can brighten up the trebles in a really nice way on this guitar. Listen to that. It doesn't end up sounding too tubby unless I do something like this. Even there, right? By the way, the piece I was just playing before was Ponce Prelude 5, which were from a set of 24 preludes that he wrote for Andrea Segovia. This one's just so lovely, especially on this guitar. Right? Oh gosh. Oh, it's fun to play this one. So, okay, yes, we are looking at an Antonio Marin Montero from the year 2012. It's 640 scale, and it's not on the website yet. So if you're watching this now or you're watching it later and you're interested, write to me, email me. There's no links for it yet. I haven't made a formal video on it, although I have done like a little walkthrough, very informal one. So write to me and I'll get to you the video first if you are interested. And yeah, it's phenomenal. Again, it has this Brazilian rosewood back with the French polish on it is just perfect still. There's like a couple of little marks right here from, you know, shirt buttons or something touching it. But you would not guess this was made now more than 10 years ago. 12 years ago this guitar was made. And gosh, is it beautiful. You should post your preferred strings. Failure to Sin says, you know what, I tend not to do that because I like picking strings for the guitar. So each guitar sometimes will have a different preferred set of strings, but I'll say the most typical strings I use, I do typically post with either in the comments or in the description of previous videos. I typically use the Dario EJ45 FF, the carbon set, with a nylon first string. However, I have to say that I like Savarez basses oftentimes, and I really like the knoblock carbon trebles on guitars that feel like normal carbon strings are a little bit too tight. I'll use those. But yeah, every guitar sort of deserves its own attention on sets of strings. Sometimes on guitars, I'll not use D'Addario carbon on the second string. I'll just use nylon. Yeah, so I change it per guitar. But this one is an all knoblock nylon set of strings. I got the guitar in with these strings, which were in good condition, so I've left them on, and I think it's a good pair. Wow. Listen, some Capriccio Arabe by Targa. I had to back away from the mic so as to not peak the microphones when I do the bigger chord. Okay, that still works. Great. Cool. How was the video and audio today, you all? I see Don says it was nice. Mercado says, what a killer tone. Very open and Spaniard. I totally agree. Such a Spanish sound out of this guitar. It's just so, you can get so much nice aggression out of this guitar, but still, it's so easy to make music and warm and round out. Wow. Anyways, let's move on to the next guitar. This was an Antonio Marin Montero from the year 2012, 640 scale, Brazilian Rosewood, extra frets for whoever in the world wants to use these, not me. But it's actually fine visually. It doesn't disturb me too much. So, and if you get a little hungry, you can pretend that it's a Hershey bar and just break off the end and, you know, take a little bite. Okay, moving on to the next guitar, which is where I realized when I was doing the previous stream that I was streaming to the wrong live stream video, because I was looking like, oh, which one did I say I was going to do next? And then I couldn't find it. It just said live stream number 10. Okay. Next up, I've not shown this one to anyone yet. This is a Jialan Chen, I hope I'm saying it right, guitar that if you know anything about, guitar history or some of the finest Italian guitars, you'll recognize this look because of Andrea Tacchi, who's a very famous traditional Italian maker who's made some wonderful guitars that are extremely hard to get and extremely expensive. And his most, maybe his most common or famous model is this Coclea Thucea model. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Which you'll see combines two very obviously different soundboard woods, the spruce center and then the cedar on the outside. And I would say, by the way, the sides are Wenge, or Wenge. That's not right. It's Wenge. And I have to say that these guitars are so convincing as far as volume and evenness of sound. And it does make you think, do I really need a double top or these lattice brace guitars? It's very powerful, and it has a lot of modern features like a raised fingerboard and an extra fret, these types of things. Now, this is not made by Andrea Tacchi. This is made by an apprentice of his or student of his, and he made this one as an homage to Andrea Tacchi. This is Jialan Chen, and it was made this year in 2024. And I have to say, the detail on this guitar, it's, sometimes when people do, a little aside here, sometimes when people do copies or homages of guitars, it's a little nauseating because when you look at the craftsmanship of the guitar, you think it's nowhere close. A lot of times there's rough corners on them or little pieces missing in the rosette or just little things that show that it's not really at the same caliber. And that is not the case with this guitar. I mean, look at this up close. I want you to take a look at this rosette. I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see it in different lights. Let me let it focus. Yeah. How about that? Isn't that amazing? I mean, the detail on this guitar is unbelievable. The polish is perfect on the guitar. The playability is very nice. And I mean, it's one of those guitars that when you're looking at it, you notice more and more details. I actually happened to catch a posting of this guitar. I guess the original seller of this guitar, when they posted something about it, Andrea Tacchi actually commented on it, and he said, "Wow, you've something." I can find the comment, but it was something like, "Wow, you've done such a great job. You've embodied exactly what I look for in these guitars." So I could send that to you if you're curious. But now, as I mentioned, Tacchi guitars are extremely expensive and very, very hard to get. If you can even find a model like this, which takes so much time to build, this guitar is available and it's sub $10,000. I know that's still a lot of money. It's not on the website yet, so if you are interested, you have to write to me. But let me show you how this thing sounds. This thing has this cedary quality to it, but with tons of clarity, huh? Do you hear that? You guys think I'm just dramatizing it? By the way, I think these are VS tuners. Quite beautiful. These green color. I have not seen a pair of these yet. It's not going to focus. Yeah, check that out. Pretty nice, right? I'll play a little bit of that St. Ponce Prelude, number 5 by Ponce, and these were written from a set of 24 for Andre Segovia. Isn't that nice? It's got this dark character to the basses that make me feel, gosh, I know it makes you feel it's got the darkness in the basses of like a great Ramirez guitar, okay? Yeah, it feels like that. This really, really thick character. And somehow the overtones and the tuning, it's just so precise. Wow, very nice. And then the trebles. All nylon, by the way. Pretty nice. Wow. Now, before anyone asks, no idea what strings are on this guitar. It is a smorgasbord. I don't know what's going on here. I think these are Hannibal Gold on the 6th and 4th. I have no idea why it looks like a little art project going on the strings, in addition to the top of the guitar, which is so funny. But yeah, they sound. The funny thing is they sound great. Otherwise, I would have ripped them off this guitar immediately. Yeah, like a Segovia era Ramirez with the basses. Something about how it pumps the bass here and the way you feel it in the guitar. It's quite something, this guitar. Well, the guitar's starting to go a little bit out of tune. I got to tune it again, but this is a good point to move on and finish sharing with you this Jialan Chen guitar, this homage to Andrea Tacchi from the year 2024. So it is in brand new condition. I mean, there's like no marks in this thing to write home about. No cracks, of course, or repairs. The polish is in perfect condition. And when I lean this in the back, when I lean the back into the light, there is nothing you can see except for my lights and walls in here. It's great. Do you think the sound will open up even more in time? Mercado says, yeah, of course. This guitar has been played very little, so you notice big changes with those types of things. You know, little story. I visited a guitar collector that has a lot of great guitars. Who knows, maybe he's watching this video. And he had a Andrea Tacchi guitar that was in this model, this Coclea Thucea model. And I thought it was his best guitar in his collection. And he had a couple of guitars from me that, let's just say, are of the most famous makers in the world. And I was blown away by it. And I knew he wouldn't sell it to me otherwise. I was like, God, please. It was amazing. And this thing really does get some of that energy. The dynamic range in the basses is phenomenal. I'm peaking the microphones. I'm sorry. It probably sounds like trash when I play loud. Let me back up a little. I mean, I'm playing hard into this guitar. And it likes it. You can tell the guitar really likes to be pushed. It's nice. What's the neck profile? It is C-shaped and not very thin, not very thick. Quite comfortable. I find it very nice. I wouldn't say much. I mean, I like my necks very thin. A lot of people disagree with that. Sometimes they feel too thin. There's nothing wrong with this neck, though. It feels very nice. Okay, let's move on to the last guitar of today, which is one you may not have heard of before. I hadn't played one before, and that is for sure. This is an Asturias. So, and of course, you hear this name right away, and you think that's not a maker's name. And it's out of a workshop in Kurume, Japan. And so this is a less expensive guitar. It's not someone this was made probably by a couple of different people with helping hands here. But I have to say, this guitar is about $5,000, and it's a double top, and it's very easy to play, in really great shape, and it is a great bang for your buck guitar. I mean, it is totally concert worthy at a price that is very reasonable. In fact, a lot of guitars that you find in this price range are very difficult sells because they have lots of things wrong with them. If it's built by one person, or maybe like a really new luthier, it's great to support these, but sometimes there's big issues. You know, there's string spacing weird, or the neck is really ginormous. This guitar, you have to check it out. Hi, nice guitar. You said Japan. I hope I said Japan. I hope I said that right. But yes, it's a Japanese guitar. And sorry, I didn't have a chance to tune this one. And these basses are a little dead on the guitar right now. I need to replace the strings, but listen to this. So this is the only double top of the set that of the day that I've played here. But I have to say, it is not a nasal sounding double top. Listen to that. I just had a friend over a couple days ago, and I was saying, you know what? I can always hear some of the nasal quality of certain double tops or lattice brace instruments when I play this A7 chord. And I don't hear it here. It's really something. Nice Guitar says, is it a heavy instrument? Wow, great question. How did you guess that? It is not, I mean, it's not heavy like a lattice brace guitar, but it's heavier than a lot of double tops, I would say. Especially in the neck area. The neck is quite heavy. But it's still a lightweight instrument. You know, you pick up a Smallman or Lease Rug or one of these Australian guitars, Marty, and those are heavy guitars. Isn't that something? This thing sounds great. It's very even. You get some of the benefits of the double top. The super even and sustain and attack. You get some of the nice things like the raised fingerboard here. Yeah, see, if it's a heavy guitar, I would have to have both hands on deck. You get the raised fingerboard. You get these Goto premium tuners. This Boucher style headstock, it looks like. And it's very nice. I'll play that Ponce Prelude again, why not? By the way, if you're just tuning in, say hello. Let me know you're watching, where you're tuning in from. I'm here in Austin, Texas. And love to hear that people are tuning in from all over the world. Sometimes I know in certain parts of the world it's way too late at night or early in the morning. But thanks so much for those of you that are able to make it. And for those of you that are watching afterwards. Super cool. Okay, so by the way, none of the 3 guitar one is on the website yet. Shoot me an email for all the details. I'll get them to you. Okay, so listen to this. Isn't that nice? Compared to the other 2 guitars, this one has a darker sound. If you like darker sounds, this is totally for you. This is a Nomex double top. A failure to send asks, what did you say the double top was constructed? It's a Nomex double top, this one. Now, if you mean what the underlayer is, I don't know. I've got to look. If it's spruce or cedar. How about that? Let's do that again. Actually, I had read about this guitar that it is of the design of Gernot Wagner. So I'm going to say that since this was advertised before, you can see on some popular sites that have sold these, that it's in his advertised as in the style or in the design of Gernot Wagner, and then maybe it was used with his permission, I'm not sure. But I get the feeling of his guitars. You know, also his guitars are, you know, let's say compared like Dahmen or Bruck, these super, or Cobbs, these super, super lightweight guitars are a little bit heavier double tops, and they've got a sound to them that's a little bit different. Maybe the sound is produced a little bit more slowly and blooms a little more. It's a very appealing sound. This is very, very appealing to me. It is a dark sound, but you can play it a little harder and get a little bit more from it. So you have no problem getting a bright sound of it. Or a very dark sound like that. Very impressive guitar. So if you're interested in this one, write to me, especially if you're looking for a guitar that doesn't break the budget. This is an insanely nice guitar for the price. Double top, cedar, raised fingerboard, easy to play neck, smooth tuners. I have to say I really like this one. Plenty of room left to go lower. I would actually take the trebles a little bit lower. And yeah, I think it'll be even nicer. The basses are perfect. It's a really nice guitar. Got a growl to it, you know? So, all right, well, I'm going to end things here. I think it's a nice length of the stream, just over 30 minutes. So, gosh, I think we have a record number of people viewing right now, 16. Just quite a bit for this small little channel, is live streams that I've only done a handful of now. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this, or is a little bit interesting for you. Tune into the next one, this same day of the week, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central US time. I've got tons of new guitars coming in right now. So keep an eye on the website. You sign up for the email list, which is right there on the website. There's a little box there. You guys know from the videos. And I'll keep you updated of what's coming in. Write to me at evan@guitarcollection.com. You'll see it in the description of this video. If you're interested at all in any of these, because yeah, I have a feeling some of these will go pretty fast. So I actually saw some emails pop up as I was playing. We'll see. Good work setting reminder. Thanks so much. And this Sunday there will be another video. I'm not even sure which of one of these guitars I'm going to record, but I've got to do it today or tomorrow at the latest. So, all right, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next stream or the next video. Keep in touch. Bye-bye.